Okay, we get on to it.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Stanley Cup predictions.
I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
very
I don't
tough.
know.
I don't know where to go with this, but explain. And I know you have a
I've
lot.
been wrong all okay, so I've been wrong since round one.
Joey, where are you?
Every prediction I had went the opposite. So I'm not gonna say
Oh my god!
anything because I don't. Every
No,
time I
you
go for
have to say
someone, the
something,
opposite goes.
even if you have to wink. Like I predict
Okay,
this
I
team.
was right actually. I said my heart wants Florida, but Carolina's gonna win it. So my heart won. So I'm gonna say the same thing. I want my heart says Florida, but Vegas is taking it.
Okay, in how much?
Wink to the wink, by the way, guys. To all the listeners out there, if you're not watching us on YouTube, my heart says Florida, but Vegas is gonna win. Wink. In how
Okay.
much? I see it at Game 7. Game 7
Oh
Stanley
wow.
Cup Finals. This is gonna be a
Okay.
Game 7 series. It's gonna be great.
Go, Chris. You're next because I still need time to think here.
Okay, no, definitely not on the spot. I'm proud to say, I'm actually proud to say, out of the Curfew boys, I was the only one who picked Vegas, and I said in 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look like it was going to take 6 games, but they have just incredible firepower. We spoke about him earlier in the show. We obviously went into that position, the goaltending position. I think Hill is going to perform a halak in the sense that he played well all the way up until the finals, and then he
Yeah.
ran out of gas.
Okay.
I
All
I
right.
just I just think I've bet against I've not that everybody's been betting against Florida, and I don't want it to be like a Montreal situation where it's been everybody's been betting against Montreal and they went all the way to the finals. Everybody's healthy. There's no Shea Weber running on a broken foot and a fucked up foot or knee. There's no Carey Price injured in it. But Bobrovsky's at the top of his game.
Oh fuck.
Kachuk, like just probably the
But
best
wasn't
American
Kachuk
player.
injured in the second round and then he came back?
I don't think so. No. No.
Or it
No.
was
No.
No,
someone
no, he
else?
was he was good
No.
the whole way through. It's just Florida's firing on all cylinders. They're healthy. Bobrovsky is playing out of this world. I have more confidence in Bobrovsky to hold the fort than for Hill to continue surprising as much as he has been. I think that Florida has a more well-rounded game. I think if Florida does what they did to the Leafs, what they did to Carolina, which is true, especially the Leafs, they fucking hammered the shit out of them. They played a more physical game. If they can repeat what they did to the Leafs, I think Vegas is similar in style to the Leafs. Very top heavy, a decent goaltender, a pretty decent defense as well. I'm going with Florida. I'm going with Florida in 6.
Okay. Wow. I'm with Anthony on this. This is going to 7. Oh my god. To me, it all comes down to the goaltending, and I know it's been repeated millions of times, but it's the truth. It's the honest to God truth that your goalie needs to be the best in this series. He needs to outperform the other goaltender. And the obvious is, yeah, Bobrovsky's got to be solid on his feet or else. And on the opposite end, yeah, Aiden Hill's got to be he's got to be fantastic also. I like Vegas's defense though.
Yeah.
Like I like their defense of Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, Alec Martinez, McNabb. Like those guys are fucking solid. And you know, I think Vegas's center, the depth center, is amazing with Eichel, William Karlsson, and then Chandler Stevenson. Like that, like they're just been awesome. They play well defensively, but they have been scoring goals. You could say the same thing though on Florida's side with Barkov. I do think Vegas has a bit more. They
Firepower?
definitely have more. They definitely have more depth at center though, and that could be key. That's
I
the key thing.
I think Vegas is winning with actual talent, whereas Florida is playing with
Grit,
momentum,
momentum, and grit.
grit, and
Yeah.
heart. So
Yeah, but
It, co-
Vegas is not far behind though with
but they
good
have
players in heart.
talent. They have players that
Yeah,
can back it up. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm seeing not fully, okay, like don't shoot me here, but I see Florida playing like Montreal 2 years ago. They
yeah,
have good
1,000%,
players,
thousand
hot
percent.
goalie like Carey Price and good players, but they're all fighting for that heart. Like they're playing the underdog story, they're playing that Cinderella story, like the Montreal Canadiens did. So can they sustain that? Vegas, on the other hand, is playing the same way, but they have actual talent on the ice. They have big names. They have all the things that Joey and you're saying, Sammy. You
Well,
need elite talent. You need elite this. You need
well,
elite that. So
I mean, but they both do. Like,
no,
not
Florida doesn't
Jack
have.
Eichel. Well, is Barkov and Matthew Kachuk elite talent? I mean, I think so. You
I think
Matt,
there's I think today they were talking about this on 690. There's a difference between elite talent and skill talent. Like I don't know what they were saying. Fuck, I should have.
well, elite for me is they just naturally have it. Like, it's just they're the skill level. Well, not the skill level, because you're born with talent. You work on skill, right? So, like, for me, the skill players are like the Sam Reinhart, the Anthony Duclairs, uh, of the Florida Panthers. The skill guys. Like, for me, it's I think of, on Vegas. I think of maybe Mark Stone, definitely William Karlsson. Oh my God, Marcia So, he's another one. But the elite, the natural talent that, like, Jack Eichel, like, he's got it. Alex Pietrangelo on defense, like, he's got it too. But on Florida, like, Montour suddenly showed his skill out of fucking nowhere. Aaron Ekblad, a first overall pick, like, I consider him maybe not an elite defenseman, but definitely a top two-way defenseman, absolutely. So they're so they're so evenly matched, and I think it comes down to not just the goalie, but yeah, just who's got the biggest heart is going to
Yeah.
win this.
Okay. But right in that sense, I find you take a player, and I think he's an X factor. He's been two players that have been like these huge X factors for Florida. Sam Bennett
Mm-hmm. What a hit,
and
huh?
and
What a
and
hit.
Reinhardt. These
Yeah.
like Reinhardt more on the point side. Sam Bennett has been terrorizing players on the ice. You have
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Kachuk who hits freaking hard. He wears down the defenseman. He smashes some of the forwards. Same thing. Bennett has possibly been worse on the physical side, like even more cruel, even more hard hitting than Kachuk. I will say this on paper, we're talking about heart. We just all three of us just finished saying comes down to heart and character and who's going to put it all out there. You look at Vegas and you have William Karlsson, you have like guys like Riley Smith, you have guys who I think on paper are better than let's say
Yeah,
the Duclairs, the Sam Bennetts. But the difference is, whether it be the Toronto series, whether it be the Boston series, whether it be the Carolina series, the Florida players have been so intimidating that they have limited every single one of not only the star players, but all of the supporting players. And I will continue to say it. I don't want to go back to just purely physical hockey and it being like purely
Mm.
fighting. I
I,
like to see the skill, but Florida has intimidated every single one of the skill players on opposing teams, and Vegas is more of a skilled team, a
well,
lot
dude,
more of a
don't.
skilled team than a lot of the teams that they went up against.
Yeah, but don't count out Vegas's fourth line of Nicholas
What?
Roy,
yeah, but Vegas.
William Carrier, dude, like, he's intimidating. And even what's his name? The Coleslaw, what's his name? Keegan
Kolzar.
Colesar. Like, dude, those are they're big guys. The
Yeah,
smallest
but
one there,
the
6'2",
difference.
6'4". Like, even though they're not the most skillful guys, like, they're the role
But
players.
but
That's
I think
that
I know
can
what you're gonna
intimidate.
say, Chris. Vegas has that fourth line grit. But what's scary about Florida is that they have the talented players who have the fucking scare tactics and the grit. So add that to the equation, they're a scarier team compared to just having your fourth line scary players.
And that bingo. And that's it's every single one of Florida's lines has been intimidating to go up against.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry to
Mhm.
say, if Florida can, in a certain sense, intimidate Vegas, their top three lines, as tough as that fourth line in Vegas is, number one, Florida players can tolerate that, and it plays to their advantage, I still think, even in that case. But it's not that fourth line who's going to score the goals. So if they could intimidate those, as much depth as Vegas has, we've seen the Montreal Canadiens shut down a guy like Chandler Stevens. Have we seen them shut down Jack Eichel? No, no. And all due respect, I want to see how Jack Eichel is going to respond and how he's going to play, because so far he's been very, very impressive. But going up against Connor
Yeah, he's been
McDavid,
great. Yeah.
not a big physical challenge. Going up against Dallas Stars, again, not an overwhelmingly huge physical challenge. It's going to be, I think, a big wake-up call. I still think, again, that intimidation factor that is going to be placed on those top three lines, full of a lot more skilled players than they are tough players. I'm looking at Florida going like skill combined with toughness, mowing down the competition, reducing it to like we're going to count on Vegas's fourth line to be putting up goals because they're shutting down the rest of the three. I've got Florida all day. And you know what? Vegas might
those are
surprise me, but
Well, here's another thing, guys, and I'm looking at stats because Joey couldn't make it. Here's one thing that's important. I think special teams is going to have a huge
100%
huge part to play, because right now
Huge.
Florida's power play percentage is at 27.9, whereas Vegas is only at 18.5. And if you look at Florida's penalty kill percentage, they're at 71.2, whereas Vegas is 63%. So right now, it looks like Florida has the advantage in terms of special teams. But if you look at the goals for, goals against, they're practically neck and neck. In terms of goals against, I mean, Vegas has less goals against, but only by 0.04. Like both teams, like Vegas right now, 2.65 goals against per game, and Vegas and the Panthers is 2.69. So they're so neck and neck. So that's just a statement that how well the goalies are playing. But here's another stat that's interesting. Goals for, Vegas 62, Florida 50. Now, do you want to argue that maybe, Vegas had not as tougher opponents as Florida did? You look at Boston, you look at Toronto, you look at Carolina.
Fucking God.
Well, there you go. So, like, it's so evenly matched. Like, this is insane.
Look,
it's literally insane. It's like, listen, Vegas only played one more playoff game than Florida. They obviously both have 12 wins. Just Vegas has 5 losses and Florida has 4. That's it. They're neck and neck.
And that's why I think they're going to play I think it's going to be, I mean, game one decides how the level of like, they're going to play very conservative because look how even it is. But I think this comes down to what you said, Sam, before. And I think, Chris, you said it right before. On paper, Vegas is the team. On paper.
Yeah.
Okay. They have the right names if you want to talk about names and talent and elite and all that crap. Okay. But then it all comes down to what I've always believed in is the heart and the grit and who wants it more. And then it comes down to what you said before, Sam, the healthiest team. So take the health and take the heart.
Goaltending too.
And you're alive.
And then you're alive. Look,
well, yeah.
If you're gonna tell me predict on paper who's gonna win, Vegas all the way. At the end of the day, it's who wants it more, and I think time will tell. I can't really make it. So, if I have to choose, it's Vegas. But my heart,
look,
Florida.
This entire playoffs, I've gone. Maybe I've gone against Florida, except the Toronto series. That Toronto series, I was either or because of that draft pick. I didn't think they were going to beat Carolina. I thought they were going to lose in 7. I still think it's going to go to 7. I don't think Florida's going to sweep Vegas like they did the Hurricanes. But I've been going against them practically all playoffs. So for the first time in these playoff predictions, I'm going to pick the Florida Panthers win it in 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said 7 before.
I switch. I just changed my mind. Look at that. Just like the snap like that.
Just like that.
Hey, babe. Babe, that's an awesome power. Just switch your mind like that, huh? You could just change your mind like that, huh? It's
Where's
awesome.
Joey with your Sammy now has the scenarios.
I don't have a scenario. I'm just going straight up. I just gave him my reasonings why. This ain't the Anthony scenario session here. No. I'm okay. Like I said, I've been going against Florida in 6. There we go.
Oh, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the Florida in 6. Okay.
Oh, you said that too. I completely forgot what you said.
I said Vegas in 7. My heart says Florida. My heart says Florida, but Vegas in 7. Wink.
So, the one thing that we can say is, regardless of our predictions, I think we're in for some
very
amazing
entertaining
hockey.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Great hockey, and a first-time Stanley Cup winner. Either or. So it's very exciting.
I think that's good. I think that's good for the league. And it's too bad that Zook couldn't make it tonight, because he had a very interesting segment. When he comes on the next episode, which he better, I won't reveal what it is, but he has a good segment. But all that to say is that, yes, I think having a brand new Stanley Cup champion in the record books, I personally think it's good for the league, and hopefully it's good for those two markets. Like, no matter what, I think Vegas is okay. Whatever happens to Florida, like I said at the beginning, I hope they're able to take that market to a bit of a higher level or newer level.
If Florida wins, I go buy their jersey.
Which it's nice.
The
jersey.
retro.
I want the retro one. For the retro one.
Fuck. Yeah.
I'm not happy with the jersey they have now. I like the original 1996 logo when they first came out. That fucking
it's beautiful.
The Panther one.
The Panther. That's
I like this current one. I find it beautiful.
I like the older logo more.